under types of studies and various CDM systems, clinical data management system, there are two types, paper-based and EDC studies. Under paper-based, the case report files, that is CRF. I've written here wrong. CRF is basically in paper format. Case report files is in paper format. Here the clinical site manually write data in paper CRF. So data in paper CRF is filed. Site scan the CRF. So they scan this document CRF and send the data to the data management team. So data was written in the paper CRF, and that clinical site manually then scan and send the data to the CRF files to data management team, and then the data management team captures data in EDC along with tracking sheet. So now they've put this physical form of scanned data in EDC. We'll study EDC in detail down below, along with the tracking sheet. Now what is tracking sheet? So tracking sheet or transmittal sheet is a document where the clinical site mentions how many pages of paper CRF are scanned for each patient and sent to data management team to avoid the missing pages. This is quite self-explanatory. So it's the number of pages of each patient CRF that is scanned by the site and sent to the data management team. This is done to avoid the pages, missing pages confusion. On receival of scan docs and transmittal sheet by DM team then verifies the receival of all CRF as per the tracking sheet. So they open this tracking sheet, you can almost consider this as an index, and they match each document and number of pages with the scanned documents that are sent. Once tracking sheet matches, the DMT signs it and sent back to the clinical site. Now the data entry team will capture the data present on the paper CRF to EDC. EDC बोले तो electronic data capture, with the help of data entry guidelines. So there are data entry guidelines also. You can search it on Google as well. Now the thing is that this is given, the whole format is given in a stepwise direction, none of where you will find it. So for this hard work notes formation of data, I deserve a subscribe and like. Now EDC studies. This was about paper-based study. Now we'll talk about EDC study. Here, clinical sites will have the access to EDC. They have the access to EDC. They capture the clinical data directly. to EDC, which is called as electronic CRF, eCRF. Once site completes the capturing, data managers start cleanup activity. So this is EDC study. Now I have already written this in notes format and I always read out my notes. The reason being key, these are selected notes. Like I have already researched between different websites and I have managed to write my notes. Now if I'm showing my notes to you, it first of all shows the amount of hard work that is done by me, and second of all you can directly take the screenshots and write your own notes based on these notes. If you want the exact PDF of these notes, please comment down below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Now there is something known as Oracle Clinical. When we studied this classification of types of studies conducted under clinical data management paper-based study, we learned that there were two kind of applications that helped. One was clintrial and the second one was Oracle Clinical. So we will learn little bit about Oracle Clinical. You will not find this kind of summarized notes anywhere else. Again, it is a summary form taken from different website, including Oracle Clinical itself. So Oracle Clinical is a database management system. Now, we all are pharma students, most of us, and if you are not, then even then you would know that sometimes when you go to certain pharmacy shops, the modernized one nowadays have billing systems that generally have this software known as Mark. What does this software do is basically this software has one database. This database has names of medicines stored in it, certain drugs, its brand, its price, conversion rate, and what else, purchase rate, retail rate, selling rate, all these things. Okay, now this Mark has this database. Actually, this database helps them to fetch these drugs when a person is trying to cut the bill. The person is trying to print out a bill. Similarly, Oracle Clinical is a database management system designed by Oracle, this is the company name, to provide data management, first thing, data entry, second thing, and data validation. So it has many things in its functionality to support clinical trial operations. So with the help of such softwares, we are able to pull up the data of the given clinical trial in a managed form for it to be analyzed, validated, and studied. So it gives management, data entry, and clinical validation. You don't need to ratify this. It's just for your general knowledge that if someone asks that what are all these softwares that are used in EDC or paper based, you could say Oracle Clinical. Now there is something known as Oracle Clinical RDC. Oracle Clinical RDC. So in EDC studies, that is electronic data data capture studies, we have three different types of softwares: Oracle Clinical RDC, medidata, rave, and inform. Let's see what do we have to say about it. So medidata, rave. Okay, let's start with Oracle Clinical RDC. So it's a remote data capture documentation. Why remote? Because we learned that in EDC we actually capture data at the clinical site itself and they directly feed it to EDC, who all the clinical sites. So therefore it is a remote data capture documentation, uses RDC online to collect the data, they review the data and report the clinical data obtained during a subject visit in a clinical study. This is an e-data capture system, so therefore EDC software. Medidata Rave is an EDC system for clinical trial site and patient and lab data capture and management. Self-explanatory. Inform EDC, it's actually written in this way. Inform EDC is also a part of Oracle and it's part of EDC studies, EDC based studies. So these are type of studies and various CDM systems.